Today, we know the law thanks to Rachel Pappy from Roderick H. Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting Firm. Rachel, always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Something that has been in the news a lot, especially with the election, Donald Trump, and he said he was repeatedly being audited. Audits. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I got a lot of questions this year about do taxpayers really get audited year after year? A lot of people were questioning if that was really true, if that happens. So I wanted to talk about one of my clients today that really happened to and let people know it really happens. You can get audited year after year after year. And I have a happy ending to the story I'm going to tell today. So happy and sad, but you'll hear. So my client got audited the first year, I can't remember what year it was, then he gets audited again the next year, the next year, the next year, the next year. 9 years.
9 years?
9 years in a row. And that's when he hired us, was on the 9th year. The 9th year he got audited, he called us and he came in and said, I need to hire you guys. I've been audited for 9 years in a row and I owe $2.5 million in taxes from all of my audits. Right. So that audit's wrapping up. We're just getting the tax returns signed, and there's nothing to argue on the audits themselves. You know, there's cases, we just had one yesterday, $26,000 forgiven from an audit where they tried to get the client for money owed. So this client owes $2.5 million. We're signing the tax returns, audit's concluding, and I have to meet his wife to get the tax returns signed and filed. So I call her, she's in the middle of getting her kids ready for prom, and I'm too busy to get this tax return signed, so I say, I'll meet you wherever you are. I go to a Kinko's by her house and FedEx office by her house. We get the tax return signed, and she says, so is this it? Now that I signed the return, are we done with the IRS? And I said, no, you owe $2.5 million in taxes. We have to take care of that and negotiate that. And her husband had never told her that they owed anything.
Oh no.
And so I say that not to say, not to the fault of the husband. Honestly, I've seen this more times than you would believe, and I want people to know if you're scared to tell your spouse that you guys owe money in taxes, it happens. It happens more than you would think. I've had a spouse throw her ring at me and yell at her husband that she wants a divorce over taxes. I want to tell people you can get through it, and there's ways to negotiate a resolution for that situation. In this case, the wife, when I say that to her, she starts crying. She had no idea. And very soon after that meeting when we signed the returns, her husband passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Her husband passed away. She hadn't worked in decades. He'd been the sole breadwinner, and she owes $2.5 million in taxes. And so this is where the story gets better, is that we started fighting for her for 2.5 years with the IRS, and at the end of it, they agreed to forgive all of the taxes under innocent spouse relief.
Wow.
Sometimes the IRS does get it very right.
And that is something that without the personal attention of your firm, this might have not been possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something that really sets you guys apart, and I know you love working in a field that allows you to do that.
No, absolutely, and it's why we all love what we get to do, because it's like the $2.5 million where this person had no way of paying it, and she's already in so much grief over her personal situation. Or the client yesterday who has a business and the IRS is trying to come after him because he can't prove all his expenses and assessing another $30,000 against him. Sometimes you just need representation to say, look, you can't intimidate taxpayers and force them to pay money they don't owe. You need someone to just fight for you, and you can get it right.
Quickly, final thoughts. What is your advice for people right now? What do you want them to know?
I would want you to know if you're getting ready to file your tax returns, it's January, so you've got to start putting together your documents to file your return. Keep everything, save everything. Make a copy of all the documents you're giving to your CPA and tax preparers, and save it because you can be audited 9 years in a row and 3 years backward from the statute of limitation expiring.
Great advice, as always, Rachel. Amazing story there, by the way, too. I'm really happy you told that to our viewers out there. If you need to get in touch with Roderick H. Polston, Tax Resolution and Accounting Firm, plenty of ways to do that. IRSHelpOklahoma.com, on Facebook, Polston Tax, on Twitter, @PolstonTax. They've got many locations for you: Oklahoma City, Norman, Edmond, Tulsa, Wichita, and you can call them there at 405-801-2146, and they'll be able to get you in touch. Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you.